Hello, everyone. My name is Margaret, and if you had met me just 3 years ago, you would have found a very different person. You would have found a woman who, at 64, had quite a lot given up. I wasn't just tired, I was defeated. My days revolved around the TV, my comfortable armchair, and a steady diet of painkillers. My back ached, my knees throbbed, and the doctor told me it was just part of getting older. I accept that. I truly did. I believed the myth that a sedentary life, chronic pain, and a gradually decline were my inevitable future. I had spent 30 years as a high school librarian, a life I loved, but the long hours on my feet had taken their toll. After retirement, the pain just got worse. It feels like a heavy anchor, dragging me down, preventing me from enjoying my grandson or even taking a simple walk around the block with my husband, Frank. Our social life dwindled. My world shrank to the four walls of my house. The turning point wasn't some dramatic event. It was a Tuesday afternoon. My granddaughter, Lily, came over with her friends, and they were all running around the yard, laughing. Lily, who was only 6 at the time, ran up to me and asked, "Grandma, why don't you play with us?" I told her, "My back hurts, honey." And she said, with the simple wisdom of a child, "But your friend Mrs. Peterson plays with her grandkids." Mrs. Peterson was 75 and, I'll admit, looked a lot more spry than me. That comment was like a cold splash of water. It made me realize I wasn't just hurting, I was missing out. I was a spectator in my own life, and that was a far greater pain than any physical ache. That night, I decided to take a small step. I wasn't going to run a marathon, I just wanted to be able to play with Lily. I started researching. I discovered a surprising truth, what I had always believed about aging and exercise, that it was dangerous, that you should rest your joints, was a complete myth. I found an online community for seniors focused on gentle movement and nutrition. The first piece of advice that resonated with me was from a physical therapist named Dr. Evelyn Reed. She wasn't just talking about pushing through pain, she was talking about building strength safely. So, I started small. I downloaded a free app and began doing 5 minutes of gentle stretching every morning. Just 5 minutes. A common misconception we see in older adults is that exercise will lead to injury or that pain is a signal to stop all movement. In fact, the opposite is often true. Safe, consistent movement is what keeps our joints lubricated, our muscles strong, and our bones dense. The key is to start low and go slow. We recommend activities like walking, swimming, or chair yoga. These are low impact but incredibly effective. It's about listening to your body, not ignoring it, and finding a routine that builds strength without causing stress. It's never too late to start, and the benefits extend far beyond physical health. I kept at it. 5 minutes became 10, then 15. My back still hurt, but I noticed something incredible. The sharp, nagging pain was becoming a dull ache. My mobility improved. I added a 20-minute walk around my neighborhood every afternoon. I started talking to neighbors, and soon a small group of us, all over 60, were walking together. We called ourselves the Pavement Pounders. We weren't training for a marathon, we were just reclaiming our streets, and more importantly, our lives.
The physical changes were just the beginning. I started eating better. No fad diets, just simple changes. More fresh vegetables, less processed food. I learned how to read food labels, focusing on things I could actually pronounce. I rediscovered the joy of cooking. My husband, Frank, even started getting involved. We'd go to the farmer's market together, and it became our new weekly ritual. Our kitchen, which had become a place of convenience, transformed into a place of creation. But the biggest lesson, the most profound discovery, was the mental shift. As I got stronger physically, I became stronger mentally. I started to believe in myself again. I was managing my pain, not just masking it. I still have days where my knees feel a little stiff, or my back sends me a reminder, but now I know what to do. I don't give up. I stretch. I walk. I listen to my body. I also learned to manage stress, which I discovered was a huge contributor to my physical pain. I started practicing mindfulness and focusing on what I was grateful for instead of what was hurting. It's amazing how a shift in perspective can change your entire reality. Today, at 67, I am not pain-free, but I am free. I can run with my grandchildren, I can hike with my husband, and I can say yes to life's invitations. My journey from the couch to the trail wasn't about a quick fix. It was about a series of small, consistent choices. It was about rejecting the lie that getting older means giving up. It was about understanding that my body isn't a problem to be endured, it's a partner to be cared for. The lesson I want to share is this: you are not your age. You are not your pain. You are the person who decides to take that first step, to stretch for 5 minutes, to choose a vegetable over a painkiller. You are the person who reclaims your life, one small, consistent choice at a time. And trust me, it is the most thrilling adventure you will ever embark on. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got a mountain to climb.